Castleberry, and this is my philosophical lecture shorts. This is part 2 of the Euthyphro dilemma, and which we're going to discuss the contemporary understanding. So what we're basically going to do is take the ideas we talked about in the last one of the Euthyphro dilemma and Socrates about the ancient Greek gods, and now we're going to apply it to the Christian understanding of God, or at least the classical understanding. And basically, just to jump off, just to kind of assume it, we're going to be talking about the PKG God, which in philosophy is known as the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-good God. Now, this is the Judeo-Christian God, so this is the God of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, okay? Now, they all argue about different aspects of God and what he does and what he doesn't. But these seem to be the three major things that all three religions would agree on, okay? God is all-powerful. He can do whatever he wants. He's all-knowing. He knows everything that has happened, that will happen. I mean, he created everything, right? And he's all good, okay? Now, the way to start with this is we need to talk about first the divine command theory, okay? Just briefly. Divine command theory, okay? And this is the idea, it's a really simple idea, is that morality is based on God's commands, okay? So if God commands that murder is wrong, it is wrong, okay? Think about it, just like when, if we use the Old Testament, when Moses goes up on the mountain, he speaks to the burning bush and gets the commandments. We now know what's right or wrong. It's wrong to lie or not covet your neighbor's wife, not to kill, okay? Because God commanded it. Now, what we're going to do is take that exact same idea and the logical structure of the Euthyphro dilemma and apply it to it, okay? And what we're going to see is the same problems ensue. And actually, with this understanding of a PKG God, there seems to be even a bigger problem than it even was for the ancient Greek gods, okay? So as you'll see, if you looked in the last one, we will change out, or gods, we'll change it with God. Where they say love, we'll change it with command. And when we talk about piety, we are now changing that with the good. And so we can ask the exact same question. The divine command theory states that God commands the good, okay? So we can ask the double question just like Socrates. Does God command the good because it is good, or is it good because God commands it? And we know from last time, these aren't two ways to say the same question. They mean two explicitly different things. And let's just review what those might be. A says this: does God command the good because it is good? That would mean that goodness or morality would be independent of God. Independent. Okay, that means that God did not create morality. It was more that morality exists prior to him, okay, or maybe at the same time, but he has nothing to do with it. Therefore, he kind of comes along and discovers it. He says, oh, that action, that is wrong. There's something about it that's wrong. I'm going to command that it's wrong. Or this action, there's something about it that's good. I'm going to command it that it's good. Okay? In this one, there is something in the action itself that makes it good. It just happens to be a coincidence that God commands those things as well. So we see, you might be able to anticipate some problems with this one. Okay? The second one says it's good because God commands it. That means morality or goodness cannot exist without God. There must be God for there to be goodness. Okay? So murder isn't really wrong at all. It's actually amoral. It means nothing until God comes along and says, you know what? I command that that's wrong. Coveting thy neighbor's wife is totally okay. It actually is amoral. There's nothing wrong with it until God comes along and says, I command that it's wrong. But also the same sense on the other side, being honest, not lying, okay? That's not good or bad until God comes along and commands that it's good to be honest, okay? And this one, as we see, it is, of course, dependent on God. Goodness is dependent. And we can think of it just like the last time. For A, if there was no God, could there still be morality or goodness? And of course, the answer has to be yes, because goodness is not dependent on God. So we see that maybe there's hope, if we choose A, for there to be some type of morality absent of God. All right? Now B says it's good because God commands it, means there can be no morality or no goodness unless God exists and commands it. Okay? God is necessary or is dependent for morality. Okay? Now, what we want to do is kind of show the same argument that Socrates gave and applying to this now, okay? And I want you to think, just take a thought about the theist, okay? The person who believes in God, okay? Which one, if they are a theist who believes in the PKG God, which one do you think they're going to want to accept? A, okay, or B? Which one initially? And if you think about it long enough, try to give you there, okay? You can pause it if you have to, all right? If you think about it, you will see that B seems to be the answer the theist has to give. And the reason is this. It has to be that God commands the good, okay, and creates morality, because if he doesn't, if it is A, and there is a goodness that is outside of God that he doesn't create, there is a major problem with this part right there. God cannot be all-powerful. So if you think about it, if A, okay, then God is not all-powerful. Okay? And therefore, they pick the theist. Okay, if A, God is not powerful, therefore, B must be true. Okay? And so what they're saying is, it can't be this. It can't be independent of God, because then he wouldn't be all-powerful. Therefore, we must side with B. It's good because God commands it, and therefore morality and goodness is one of his powers. He is all-powerful. We would assume that would have to be it. But now let's start taking Socrates' arguments and looking at how this problematizes the kind of game for the theist. Okay? Remember, if it's B, Socrates claimed that B would make morality arbitrary. Okay? But remember, B makes morality arbitrary. Remember, Socrates claims that this is the case, that if it's totally up to the will of God, then God could pick whatever he wants without any reason. Okay, he can just go willy-nilly go, murder is wrong. Excuse me, murder is wrong, or lying is okay. Okay, whatever he wants. Or he goes, murder is right, and lying is not okay. Okay, or on people that are honest, I don't agree with. Okay, therefore I'm going to command them that they're wrong. Okay, he can make up whatever he wants. Now it happens to be, of course, at least we think, that he has, he made things up and hasn't changed, or the problem is we couldn't know if he did. But the point being here is there is no reason why God has picked why murder is right or wrong, or why lying is right or wrong, or why honesty is good, okay? There is no reason whatsoever. He just, out of his head, or wherever it is, just goes, this is wrong. And if he wanted to, tomorrow, if he wanted to decide that murder is awesome, okay, and that he would love you to covet thy neighbor's wife, he could, and according to this, that would then make murder good, and sleeping with or cheating on your wife good, okay? Which most of us would go, no, that can't be the case. Morality stays put, all right? But according to this, it doesn't. Now, some of you may say, wait a minute, okay? God never picks anything willy-nilly. God has good reasons, okay? So, he said this, but we go, but, remember, B makes morality arbitrary, but the counter-argument, we'll put CA again, God always has good reasons. Okay? Has good reasons. Okay, we're going to put that one there as well. But if we remember back to the last part of the Euthyphro dilemma, Socrates argued that this actually sides with A, not B. Because think of it, if God has good reasons, where would those good reasons come from? If they come from God himself, from within God, that's just like he's picking things willy-nilly, just going, it comes out that I think this is wrong, or I think that's right. There's no reason for it. It has to be something outside of himself, something he's looking at or observing to get his good reasons, such as perhaps the action itself, or maybe how human beings respond to it. Like, once again, I see this murder thing really upsets the families of it, and I don't like that, okay? I see that upsetness, and now, because of that reason, I'm now going to command that murder is wrong. If God has good reasons, then it cannot be B, it must be A again, okay? A, if there's good reasons why God chooses, okay, what's right or wrong, then A is the case. He's getting it from somewhere. B has to mean, it means this logically, that God would be making up willy-nilly. There is no reason whatsoever. He's just popping into his head and doing whatever he wants, okay? Now, if we re-examine this for the theist, we see that they're in big trouble either way, okay? If the theist says B, okay, that's fine, because he keeps God all-powerful, all-knowing, all good, okay? But by accepting B, he then makes morality arbitrary. God can make up whatever. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It just is because it is. All right? So, yes, God keeps his power, but now all morality is meaningless. It's willy-nilly. It's arbitrary. Okay? Or we go and let's say we side with A. Well, great. Now morality has a reason for it. It's not willy-nilly. There's a purpose to morality. But the problem is, it's a power that God now doesn't have. He doesn't have the power to create morality, and therefore, he would not, in traditional sense, be PKG. And that is a big no-no for traditional theists, okay? He has to be this. So we see that one way or the other, the theist is going to be in trouble either way. It's a catch-22. You're damned if you do this, you're damned if you do that. All right? Now, there are some possible answers. There's one really famous answer by the theist that usually goes against, that attacks this. It says, well, you're right. Logically, this does seem to be what is the problem here. Logically, if I accept this, then it seems is arbitrary. And logically, if I accept that, then God can't be all-powerful. But that, according to theists, or at least some theists may say, that is human logic, logic that we understand. Some theists will make this claim. The logic of God is so far beyond us. We are so, we are so much less than God, and his intelligence is so greater than us. He must have a logic that supersedes our own. And under this logic, it is totally possible for B to be the case, and somehow it not to be arbitrary. Okay, now how this happens, the theist goes, we can't understand, only God could, because we only have human intelligence, human logic, and that can't capture precisely what God does. Now, that's fine. So if we go with the theist that God's logic is superior to ours, then you can say this, but I want to advise us, and this is the philosopher in me course talking, okay? If you go and say that our logic is superseded by a greater logic, and we now say that our logic is in some sense fallible and doesn't work, okay? What I think happens here is you are giving up. By giving up on our logic, you are giving up on a lot of things you take for granted day to day. Our logic is necessary to the way we understand the world. If we didn't have it, we couldn't understand it. So by now throwing that out to the wolves here, giving up on that logic and saying, well, God's as far superior, and he could change that logic if he wanted to. His supersedes our own logic. We are now kind of saying that our logic doesn't work. Yet, every single day, just knowing that my car is outside, knowing that 2 + 2 = 4, some of these major things we depend on to live are now gone. We're giving up on that just for the sake of trying to preserve this idea, okay, or the idea that God can be all-powerful and morality can't be arbitrary. If you want to take that risk, then that's up to you, okay? In my mind, maybe because I am not necessarily a traditional theist in any sense, okay? As for me, I look at it and go, I think A works, okay? He's not all-powerful, but he's still extremely very powerful. There may be one thing he cannot do, but he's still very powerful. He could be very knowing, and he still could be good because he's following these moral codes, okay, that already pre-exist him, or at least exist separate of him, okay? And I don't have a problem, but I get, traditionally, theist that is a no-no, all right? In the end, I think it really amounts up to this. We get to this point, we see what logic tells us. It's, in the end, if you want to take the other side and side with the theist, I do think it's a matter of faith, okay? Now, some philosophers are very negative to faith. I don't happen to be one, okay? And if you want to take it on faith, that something like this is possible, that you can be all-powerful, all-knowing, all-good, and still morality not be arbitrary, then more power to you. But according to the logic, it shows that that couldn't happen, all right? So either you have faith in the logic or you don't. You have faith in something else, a higher being, it's okay. But this is the argument, and as we see, it's really even more, I think, it's a more powerful argument against the Judeo-Christian concept of God. Because, at least in ancient Greece, the gods were pretty powerful, but there was many gods, okay? And some had power to do this, others had power to do others. It was very rare that many people would say they were all totally powerful, okay? Some did claim this, all right? But it wasn't as big of a deal. In this one, there is only one God, okay? And there is the claim that he is all-powerful. And this idea is put in jeopardy when we bring Socrates' Euthyphro dilemma to it. So it makes it a lot more interesting. It was pretty powerful back then, the argument, but it's even a bigger dilemma now. And as you'll see, most contemporary Christian theists deal with this argument. I'm sure they have plenty of other sides to this if you'd like to take a look at it. But one last note, I also want to mention that this isn't something, just atheists are bringing up. This idea was a problem for a long time, and philosophy, and especially Christianity, spent quite a bit of time together during the Middle Ages. And many of the great theists, such as Thomas Aquinas, St. Augustine, St. Anselm, all dealt with this problem as well and thought about it. So they're actually theists who are the first ones to come about this, all right? So actually what we're doing is applying the Euthyphro dilemma along with the theists. It's an issue they deal with, okay? But that is it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I'll see you next time.